Da-da-da. All right, we're on to turn 8. This is, I think, going to be the pivotal turn, even though I've said that for the last 2 as well. I think this might actually be it. 4 again, that's the year. Well, if that keeps happening, then they're going to be out of luck. Oof. Well, they get 3 points. But their fleets are still inactive. That's not good. Not good. AP generation. Once again, 4 leaders on the map. Then port towns with bases. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 plus the 3 leaders is 9, which is going to put us at the maximum 12. And that's good enough. Don't need to go any. Can't go any farther. So we move on to recruitment. Okay, I think what we're gonna need to do for this is get a couple. We're gonna get 1 composite unit of the colonial troops, along with, I think we're gonna get. Let's see, how many units do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 that are counting for stacking. Okay. And over here, the Satsui, we got 5 combat units counting the static, plus they're in the entrenchments. Oops. Yeah, let's get 1 Italian light infantry, so that'll bring us down to 8. And how many spaces is this from the nearest base? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we won't be able to use our air support. So we're going to be relying very much on just our leader and having good order units to get that battle advantage. Now, thankfully, these units aren't really good. Like, they're pretty good units that the Sensusi have, but they're not, like, amazing. So, we don't have any more heavy guns except in the C column. We're not going to be using those too much. So I think we'll just get... We're just going to get 1 more infantry, so that'll bring it down to 7. And we're going to drop those into here, so that's going to bring us up. First, we're going to bring our forces in Tobruk to the maximum. Maximum strength. So they're going to be pushing. We need to push. We can't let them build up anymore. We need to push. So we're going to be pushing for Gia-Bur. And C column is has a pretty good combat power, even with the damaged light infantry. And I think that might be a good idea, even to push for the other oasis here, depending on how this. I think it's going to depend on how this fight goes. If this fight goes well, they're going to push for this other oasis, and we're going to move the Derna force into Benghazi to protect it from Suleiman. I think that probably makes the most sense right now. I would love to be able to push over to this one, but without that naval support, I mean, we're probably gonna have to do it without it anyway, just because we want to get the maximum chance in the Aegean, and we're only gonna have possibly 2 turns maximum to do it. We'd like to try to do it on the turn 9, because the Italians, if they can end the whole game at turn 9, if they take the Aegean, the Ottoman Aegean for territories. So I think, yeah, we're going to want to push. I don't think we're going to be able to do it this turn, though. It'd be a very, very close one. Very, very close. Because let's see, they have the 4, 4, 3, that plus the baggage train. And it's a very powerful force we have in one, and we would be able to use our aircraft at least. I'm debating if it's worth pushing this first over pushing here. I mean, the port is going to be worth more victory points anyway. Yeah, I think we're going to have to push that first. I think we're going to have to push Mitsurata first. And depending on how well that goes, how much resources we have to expend to do that, that'll come to determine how we handle this area. We might wait on this one, though it's going to give time for even more forces to build up. And this is already maximum strength, so no, because you know what? Here's my thinking. If we don't push for this now, they're going to get even stronger, and we're not going to be able to push for it at all on Serencia. This side here, they can get some more forces in position to kind of help block things a little bit, but they're not really going to be able to do a whole lot. The most they could do is possibly punch up to Tripoli, which wouldn't be good, but at that point, I don't think they're really going to be able to do much. All right, let's move on to the march phase. We're going to spend 1 action point, and we're going to go over to Tobruk. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to attack into Giubur. Anyway, all right, so before we do, we have to determine battle advantage. I'm going to decide, are we going to expend our supply wagon? I think the Italians will not. And the Sensusi, since they're already in a supplied area, and since they're gonna hedge their bets and say that they're gonna get battle advantage, because it's more likely, since they're both going to be rolling the same, but they have the advantage of the entrenchments, so they have better odds of actually getting it. So they're going to assume they will, and they're going to expend for the extra bonus on the CRT. And now we roll for battle advantage. Both are rolling a +2. So that is the Italian advantage. So not good for the Senussi. And the Italian total strength here. I'm just going to put that right there. Let's see what we got here. Okay. 1, 3, 7, 11, 14, 17. That's, damn, it's far. Okay, 22, 26, 28. All right, so a little more than I thought, actually. So they're on the 28 to 35. It is not a town. I don't think Oasis does. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It does give a -1 on the shift on the Oasis. So, yeah. Okay. So they're actually on the 21 to 27, which is still pretty good. Not as good as it could be, because that would give us a 50% chance to immediately win the battle. Instead, we have a 33% chance. But generally speaking, a lot of times in this game, Italians tend to roll low on the actual combat. So let's see what they can do. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get that? Oh, no. I'm brain fart, thinking about something else. All right, here we go. 5. Oh, I think they actually did it. 5 is 5 hits and forces a retreat. The Mad Lads actually did it. Okay, here we go. 5 hits and a retreat. Destroy the static unit. That's 1. And we'll destroy 2 of these cavalry. And let's see how far do the Senussi retreat. 5 spaces. Let's see here. So getting rid of that supply ended up massively hurting them. 1, So we can go maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can have to go back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can't. We have to go away from the hex they came from. Not good at all for the Senussi. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, they're gonna go here because it's gonna be the same attrition, but it's gonna, yeah, that'll make it much harder for the Italians to pursue because they have to go through deep desert, which is a significantly higher penalty. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so like they'd have to leave behind their slower, slightly slower units, like their infantry. Well, that's actually the only unit they'd have to leave behind. Oof. Not a bad idea, actually, then. Though fighting in deep desert is no column shift. Ooh, yeah. It's probably worth it to actually just pursue. If we take our, yeah, we're going to spend one more. Might as well try it. We'll leave behind, we're actually going to leave behind the infantry and the engineers. Oops. Well, I already did the math, so I know where they're going to end up. There we go. They'll be launching an attack. And they see, this is a good reason why it was good to eliminate those two, because then the 2 units, instead of taking damage on all of them, because now there's still an equal chance for battle opportunity. The Italians will not be expending their supply, so it's still it's a +2 once again in both. Okay, so the Senussi get the battle advantage. They do not want to try to keep fighting. They're going to retreat. So they have to roll again for withdrawal. They withdraw 3. 1, 2, 3. They're going to withdraw towards... Ooh, actually, withdrawing towards that oasis could be a problem with column C. So they're actually going to withdraw 1, 2, 3 this way, deeper into the desert. So what do we want to do with these guys? Do we want to pursue... Which is not a bad idea. Just because we're not gonna, it would take 2 AP to chase him then. So if we go back 1, so 2, I think we're just gonna, should we just leave him there? Or do we spend the 2 and actually push them over to Yalo and occupy that as well? I think we're going to do that, actually. We're going to spend the 2, dropping down to 3, which would, they're going to take 4, and 1, 2, 3, and then we're in Yalo, Jalo, however you say that. So that's 2. Now, do we want to push C column and try to just attack here at Suleiman in this fort? Suleiman's pretty strong because he's also got the static unit. Oh, in fact, I'm just gonna do it this way. He's also got the static unit, so he's a pretty good force. So trying to attack either one, it's kind of a problem. Well, something we may also want to consider doing right now is moving these guys 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would take 2 to get all of them over there. Yeah, we'll just leave them. I don't want to spend that much just to lock down this oasis. I think we're going to have to stop. I think we'll stop there for now. they'll be, assuming they possibly survive the Ottoman turn, which I think they will because it's so far out, be able to get a base down there. That'll help. Get a fortification over here and some static militia units to cover, or help cover. Yeah, okay. Now let's move on to the Tripoli side. I think we're gonna have to just make a push. Yeah, we just need to do that. So spend 1, I'm gonna march out of homes. We're gonna be making an attack and we're gonna use an Air Force marker to give us that +1 to our battle advantage roll. And so we're taking on Mustafa Kemal and his mix of tribal levies and a decent contingent of pretty good Ottoman units. Now we don't have the Italians do not have a supply column to use, so they won't be using one. Do the Ottomans want to use the supply column? Because if they are forced to retreat, they're going to be left with nothing, most likely. So I think they're going to not use the supply column because they don't want to risk losing the army, to attrition. Then again, it'll be on their turn. They'll have the points to move them. More points to move them. I don't know how many. After losing both one base and one oasis, there's going to be less going on. This is a tough call. No, we're gonna need to slow the Italian advance as much as possible. We're gonna risk it. We're gonna sacrifice our supply wagon for the extra CRT. So we need to try to do something to bloody nose the Italians here. Even though it's a potential battle advantage loss here, we'll see. So the Italians are getting a +3 because of the aircraft. With the aircraft, and then the Ottomans are getting +2. So 7 to 5. So that's Italian battle advantage. This is looking like bad news now. Let's see what happens. No bonus on the CRT with the supply wagon. We're going to be taking a minus because of the fort here. And I can't forget about oh yeah, that's right, there's a static unit under there. Okay. 10, 18, 22, 24, 28, 34, 39, 41. Wow. Okay, so we're on the 36 to 44 minus 1. So we're on the 28 to 35. Woof. Woof. Man, if they had that naval support. 4. 4 is a 6 hits and a retreat. So that's a decisive victory. Oh, shoot. I totally forgot. There was a major victory over here, which would have netted them, netted the Italians an extra AP. And this is about to be another major victory, which is going to net an extra AP. That's actually going to change the game. I just forgot to implement that again. Okay. That's going to change how this goes. Because before we kept getting draws without forced retreats, and now we're getting the retreats, so that's a big deal. Anyway, 6 hits. So first, we'll take the hit on the static unit. So that's 1, and we got 5 more to do over on Mustafa Kemal. So we'll take all hits on the tribal levies as much as possible. And now they have to retreat. How much do they retreat? 4. Well, I guess we should have kept that. Should have kept the supply. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess that's what we're gonna have to do. Or can we go maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 into the rough? Well, they have the wadi here, so that'll just gives them a measure of protection. But now let's do the aircraft roll. It's a 5. It's a return, so they immediately have the aircraft back. No hits there. Wow. Big win. Huge win. I think they need to pursue Kemal's force. So they're going to spend that AP they just won. They're going to leave behind the engineers. And I think 1 infantry. And they're going to go 1, 2, attack. And they're going to be attacking across a wadi. I think that's how you pronounce that. Wadi. So that's going to be a -1. So they were at the 36 to 44, but they lost 6. Whatever. I'm wrong before you even do battle advantage. That's silly. So now it's a +2 for the. Are they too far away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're too far away for aircraft support, but they can at least get. They at least have their full unit orderly plus a leader. So +2 versus a +1 for the Turks. Well, that's roll to 6. Can't beat that. Time battle advantage. Okay. So where was I? Yeah. Anyway, they had 41 before, if I remember correctly. It'd be silly. I feel very silly if I'm wrong. They had 41, which would drop them to 35 after losing 6 points. And then because of the attacking across Wadi, they're on the 21 to 27. So 21 to 27. And they roll a 6. Well, now it's like the Italians got their shit together and are actually like doing damage here. 6 hits plus a retreat. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I guess 6 because that's a rebuildable unit. Oh boy! And by the way, this is just a misprint. It's supposed to be it's Kamal on the front, but for some it has Anvar on here, and then Anvar has the same problem on the back. It's just a misprint, but I'm actually gonna put them over here instead of the column B since that's such a small force at this point. These guys are gone. And retreat. 4. And that was, they had, if you count that plus the 3 units, so that was a 4 unit. That's another major victory, so that's my point. There's no points to deprive the Ottomans of it, but oh well. Where do they want to retreat to? They don't want to keep retreating along the coast. That's a bad move. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Where do they want to go? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, why not? Try to retreat towards their base, even though it's not really going to help that much. Well, after that kind of success, the Italians need to keep pushing. 1, 2, 3. It's as far as their baseline movement can go, but they're adjacent to an enemy unit, so they're going to attack. And now it's just it's +1 for the Turks and +2 for the Italians still. Time battle advantage tells. They're actually on the 20 to 35 because there's no Wadi protecting anymore. It's just open ground. But they roll a 1. So they still do 4, which is enough to wipe out the Ottomans. And all of these units are irreplaceable. So that's the end of those. Wow. And they move in. And we're going to spend another point for the Italians. We're going to move here, and we're going to attack into Hun. So that's +2 for the Italians. Oops, +2 for the Italians, +1 for the Ottomans. So it's going to be a tie, which goes to the Ottoman defender, who will, if it's a static unit, they're in a fort, they're just going to have to shoot on the 2 table, 1 to 2 strength, so they need a 4 up to do some kind of damage. They get that. They do manage to do 1 damage. So the infantry will take 1 hit. And then no matter what the Italians roll on their just flip that just for the sake. No matter what they roll, they're going to win because they're even on the drop down. So these are 1-step unit. They are 2-step, but even then they'll still be doing at least 3. So 2-step unit gone. Hun falls. Italians move in. They're going to spend another point to attack into Sokna. rolling for battle advantage. Now it's just +1 for both. Okay, so that's the Ottomans again with the advantage. So once again, 1 to 2 table, 4 up. They fail to do any damage. And the Italians, no matter what they roll, do enough damage to destroy the unit. And they'll be moving in with everything except, I think we'll just leave that guy. Leave that guy in Hoon. He's subject to a possible counterattack this way, but losing that one guy, I'm really not worried about it. And we got 1 more point. I think we'll just use that for. Oh, I'm sorry. Will regular town's worth anything? Let me check the victory points real quick. I can't remember if regular towns are worth anything. I don't know if I even want to bother holding it, actually. Where is it? Where is the... here we go. Oh yeah, non-port towns are worth 1. Oases are worth 2. Okay, so we're actually gonna... Oasis is actually worth more. And I think just for the purposes of fending from counterattacks, we'll actually keep that guy with the A column. And we don't have any disorder units there. So we're gonna spend our rally point to get that unit rallied in the A column. And I think that'll cover it for the Italian turn. That was a crazy turn. Wow. That's the kind of rapid shifts that can happen in this game when you're lucky and you got enough points to spend. Woo! Alright, Ottoman event phase 1. Ottomans rally. Recruit to play 1 Ottoman leader or composite unit, and it's worth 6 AP. Well, despite the hardships, the Turks rallying, and they get 1 composite unit. They don't have any leaders to... Oh, no, wait, they do. They could put a leader in there. They have Mukhtar? Mukhtar? I guess that's right. Where would we put Mukhtar? No, actually, having the composite combat unit might actually be better. No, wait, because they can still get the combat power there. So we'll actually still add, a leader unit to here. Even though you only get 1 leader bonus for the battle advantage, I think the leaders are still worth the 4 points, I think, if I remember correct. Yes, I think they were. It's always plenty of 4. Not that happened very often. It usually made more sense to kind of keep the groups as distinct as possible, but that'll work to at least make a faster or harder hitting force. Anyway, AP generation. So Ottoman leaders on the map, there's now 3. There's still 3. So that puts them up to 9. And then with the... They don't have any more port towns. Controlled oases with bases. They have 1. It's not a base. Not a base. So they got 1 point from that, and with the 2 that are just controlled, that's going to be an extra 1. So they have 11 points. That's their final total. So for recruitment here, 2 for the composite unit. We're going to have to rebuild a force in the desert. We're going to try to force them back. That's the best we can really do right now. So we're going to see if the Ottomans have been able to, the Italians have been able to take the Aegean. The Ottomans would not be able to recruit any more Ottoman units, or Turkish units rather, the Grey Turkish. So let's get 1 composite unit. Then maybe got 1 uprising marker. We may need more, so let's spend. We're gonna spend 1 full AP point to get 1 static unit at Zala and 1 uprising marker. And then we got, these are all disorganized now. Let's see, 2. 2 points for these 2 cavalry. So that would put, that's, leaders don't count, so 3, 4, 5, 6. It'd be 6 units. We can get 2 more on that 1 stack, even though the static unit won't be able to move. So let's get 1 supply, and I guess we'll just get 1. Let's get this. Do we want engineers? Yeah, and actually we're gonna get the engineer, and then with the engineer now on that field, because I think the engineer, can the engineer just deploy? Sometimes it's hard to remember which is what. Yes, we can just build a base. I'm gonna use the B column for this very soon, so we'll just build that base. Here we go. There's technically 6 units because of the static unit there. And then that will cover that. Now we're going to spend 1 AP to bring, we're going to restrict the march phase to bring these guys over there. And then we're going to spend 1 AP to march out. 1, 2, that's enough. Okay, we're going to attack here at Yalo. We're going to use an uprising marker. So let's see if it's successful. Need a 1 to a 3. It is. That'll negate the Oasis bonus and will give us a +1 to our battle advantage roll. So let's just lay these guys out so we can get all that proper. Okay. So the Ottomans are rolling at a +2 to their battle advantage, and I've got a +2 for the Italians as well. Or excuse me, +3 for the Ottomans because of the uprising. So yep, Ottoman battle advantage. So they're going to be striking. I'm just going to get rid of the uprising. So 4, 8, 10, 13, 14. I forgot to change that. I think they were going to use, in my head, they were definitely going to use the supply caravan for this attack because it's kind of all or nothing. The Italians were also going to expend theirs. So that's fine. Shoot, where was I? 8, 10, 13, 16, 19, 21, 24. Okay. 21 to 27. Here we go. So this is going to be a potential major battle here. So let's see if they can roll a 4 or 5, or sorry, excuse me, a 5 or 6. Then it's going to be an automatic victory. Otherwise, they're just doing a bloody nose. Just a bloody nose. Very bad one though. 4 is 5 points. So that's going to hit the Italians pretty bad. So I think they're going to go, let's see, that's only deprives them of 1 combat each. So that's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. That's deprives them of the least amount of combat power possible. 5 points. Still keeps them going. Oh, shoot, they expended their, I'm sorry, they expended their supplies. That was actually 6 in a retreat. So that'll be 6. And now they're going to retreat. 1. They only managed to retreat 1. That's very bad. So that's also a major victory. So that's going to give an extra AP for the Ottomans. They're going to retreat towards, I guess, towards the other outpost. That's an advance. They're going to spend another point to attack again. So Ottomans are rolling a +2, and the Italians don't have any bonus. Okay, so Ottoman battle advantage. They're hitting again. They're hitting on the 21 to 27. No combat modifier here. 3. 3 is 5 hits. That's going to kill pretty much everybody. Except for, I'll keep Giorani alive, because he also doesn't require supply sustainment. And He's going to retreat how much? 2. Only 2. Oof. Do they even want to advance? No, they're just going to send a couple guys out to go kill that guy. So they're going to stick with there, but they're going to spend one last AP to send. I'll send Mukatar out with a couple cavalry up to the desert and strike it. That guy, Giovanni. So +2 for the Ottomans, +1 for the Italians. Ooh, okay, Italian battle advantage. He's going to retreat. How far is he going to retreat? 2. And with that, there is no more points left for them to spend. These guys do need to take a supply hit, a supply attrition roll for the deep desert, which is not great for them. It's a 3, 4, 5, or 6. They take a hit. All right, so for first cav survives. Second cavalry takes 1 hit, and the leader doesn't have to roll for sustainment. So that's 1 hit there. And I'll just move up. Why not? Might make that somewhat susceptible-ish, but I'm not going to be too concerned about it because we really need to focus on dealing with these guys. But we managed to at least drive them out of yellow. Probably would have been it probably would have been smarter to keep those guys with B just because of the C column can come back. Though A column's still there, still present, and potentially a threat even if the C does advance. So yeah, it's just, it's challenges. Nothing to spend on rallies, so that will be the end of this turn 8. And wow, what a bloody, bloody turn that was. Whew. Very, very gnarly. Still, the Italians have overall, I think, the most victory points, so we'll have enough victory points to pull off a victory if they can last this last turn and keep it, or 2, there's still 2 turns unless they get the Aegean, so we'll see how it goes. Wow. Catch you next time.